The things they've seen in the past year, we can't even tell you.
Across the Ohio Valley, inside hospitals, clinics, doctors' offices, hundreds of healthcare workers have been working seemingly tirelessly to care for all of us. As many of us were able to stay home this past year, they didn't have any other option but to go to work, sometimes caring for the highest risk patients, putting their own safety aside. And now it's our chance to say thank you.
Starting tonight, we bring you Hometown Healthcare Heroes. It's a way to honor the work this group has done and feature some of the men and women who have worked on the front lines of the coronavirus. And we begin inside Wheeling Hospital. When the COVID-19 pandemic hit, nurse Rod Grafton didn't hide from the virus. In fact, he volunteered to care for the sickest patients. It's that commitment to care that makes him a hometown healthcare hero.
One day at a time.
One day at a time. It sounds so simple, but in an ongoing pandemic with no certain end, that's how Wheeling Hospital has had to handle patient care.
Having these patients come in and they're very sick, they're isolated from their families, so we have to be there with them. We're their biggest cheerleaders. We want to help them so they can get well and be back with their loved ones.
Rod has been a nurse for 3 years. Inspired by a deep desire to help, he volunteered to put himself at risk to care for complete strangers, and in the process became the closest thing they had to family as they battled this deadly virus.
We're the only people they see on the outside, so I thought it would just be something special that I could do to help the people of our community.
He keeps the patients' families up to date because they're scared to death. We're their family while they're here, and I've got many cards, phone calls, recognizing Rod for being such a good nurse.
Co-workers describe him as energetic and outgoing with a strong set of clinical skills.
Rod is funky. He's just always so positive and just really brings like a light to people's shift and the patient's day.
He's always one to volunteer for an extra shift, and in the darkest of times has helped his co-workers push through.
I wouldn't want to work with anybody else. I mean, our group of nurses here are just so supportive of each other.
And getting Rod through is his family, providing a much-needed relief from a high-stress job.
I was working a full-time job at midnights, and my wife was there behind me, while I was going to school. My kids always ask me questions, how was school and how's work? I mean, it's a way that I can leave this place and just kind of decompress and just be so happy with the people around me.
On behalf of WTRF and the Ohio Valley, a big thank you to Rod, Cindy, Lisa, and the entire team at Wheeling Hospital for everything they do. And they ask all of us to please keep wearing our masks, washing our hands, and to get the vaccine when it is our turn. Now, as a special thank you to our healthcare workers, we need your help. All this month, WTRF and Belmont Savings Bank are collecting monetary donations that will be used to send meals and gift cards to staff at our area hospitals. If you would like to donate, you can drive through any Belmont Savings Bank location or visit WTRF.com under the Living Local tab. While you're there, if someone you love works in healthcare, you can submit their photo and it may be featured on 7 News.